Hello, everyone. This is Mika Coleman with Tax Deed and Overage Education. And today I am having a lazy day. And so I'm going to kind of show you how I cheat on finding different counties for tax deed overages. So if you're new to this is a great learning video because I'm going to show you what you can do. I am recreating a software just like this, but it's going to be geared towards tax deed overages. However, this is more so for auctions. And as you don't know, or if you do know, most auctions, once they are completed, 9 times out of 10, they have an overage amount. So I just wanted to kind of show you what I normally do with this software, which my software, it's only going to have deeds and redeemable deeds because those are the most common that would have overages as opposed to liens. Liens is a little bit different process, a lot more trickier. So I try to keep things simple when I'm investing or uncovering overages. I only like to do deeds and redeemable deeds. So for those that are new to this channel or aren't aware of the difference between deed and redeemable deed, a deed is when you an auction type deed is when you go to the auction, you get the deed right away. A redeemable deed is when you go to the auction, they're not going to give you a warranty deed. They're going to give you what they call, don't give me the lion. Let's say what I want to say. It's kind of like a redeemable deed. And what that looks like is it's not the actual deed, but it's basically saying that you have ownership to the property, but there's a possibility that the owner will come back. However, don't be afraid because I like redeemable deed states because just like let's say you pay $10,000 or $20,000 for a property, if the owner comes back and redeem it, they have to pay you $20,000 plus a percentage. So I always say in this investment niche, it's always a win-win with the disclaimer if you buy right. Now, if you buy some landlocked property, you're SOL, okay? However, if you buy right, this is always a win-win strategy. I don't care what anybody says. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of cover what redeemable deeds are and what deeds are. So I clicked on those two auctions because those are the most likely to have overages. And so once I do that, it populates the different counties. Now, I said I was having a lazy day, y'all, because I literally have been worn out because I've had to have a root canal and I've like my tooth has been bothering me for the last 2 weeks. And I'm like, I just do not feel like looking for counties. And I'm going to do a video on ChatGPT because I thought ChatGPT would be like the save all to win all, but it's not, y'all. It's just not. So anyway, I'm sticking to the program. So you guys might want to write some of these things down. It's really knowledgeable and helpful. If you guys see some counties that you are familiar with, I'm just going to kind of break it down to you. So I normally come here when I'm looking for like a new county or I'm trying to explore a different area because I like to be as relevant as possible. There's a lot of people that will piggyback off of other people's videos or they'll go off of something else that someone says. I try to be different and try to stay relevant and find new areas in different places where I can uncover overages. So anyway, I'm going to kind of show you my process of how I do this. So first and foremost, as you guys can see on this top right where I have my little pointer, it says aggregated sell amount. I look at this because it tells me like how much money of the minimum bid. So like, for example, this is 478,000 and they're going to have 33 parcels. So this tells me that there might be a possibility that there may be some overages at 10,000, maybe 15,000. Just really depends. But this is something that I possibly may want to look at. Did I do this one? Yeah, I did. Okay. So I did look up this one for last year. So then I just scroll all the way over here, you guys, and I say, oh, okay, Mariposa County, California. So I'll put that into a file. However, let me give you the disclaimer about California, y'all. I'm doing two claims actually in California. And I'm like, ain't this about something? So in California, if you try to collect on an overage, literally if you collect for 2025, you won't get it impossibly until 2027. Now, this one particular county, you not only have to meet the year deadline, but then they have a year to pay you after that. And I was like, California is on some other stuff. However, it's one of those things where you plant the seed and you just watch it harvest. So a lot of times, unless it's a really good one, I try to stay away from California. I believe I did look this one up, and there was like one overage, which was pretty decent, but it's only one. So I would move on from California because, I'm not trying to wait 2 years to get some money unless it's like 4 or 5 claims, right? So this may be a good one. It also tells you the sale date is August 22nd. So for those that want to look into California and start planting your seeds, for 2026, 2027, by all means do that. So that this is when the auction will be. And it says it's online, which is a good thing. So you don't have to fly to California. You can register online and you can get your own excess proceed list for this county. That's one way that I uncover overages, and I get to them rather quickly. This one, I've never heard of this, St. Mary's. I try to stay out of Georgia, y'all, because Georgia be on some other stuff. And also too, Georgia is a heavily attorney state, meaning that a lot of times they do not allow third parties, only attorneys. So I stay out of Georgia as well. I'm looking at Texas. These, like, for 41 properties, for the opening bid is 223. This means that there's a lot of cheap properties. Okay, y'all. So that means that if they start off cheap, the value is not going to be as high, which means that the overages aren't going to be high. So I wouldn't look at any of these. And also too, because it's Texas, for you guys that aren't aware, Texas is a redeemable deed state. So 9 times out of 10, you're waiting either 6 months to 2 years for them to redeem it, depending on if they're a homestead or not. And another reason why I don't do Texas is because they have a 10% cap on collecting. So say, for example, you have $100,000 claim, you only can request 10% of that. That's only Texas does that. I'm starting to see Nevada do that in some counties, but not all counties. So you got to watch out for some of those things. I'm going to go down to North Carolina. Oh my God. Like, let me tell y'all about North Carolina, South Carolina. Now they have a 5-year redemption, which means that you got 5 years to collect. So there's probably a plethora of, what am I trying to say? Leads. But when I tell y'all these counties be trying to hold on like it's their money, I have yet to be successful to talk to someone that would help me in certain counties in North Carolina. So, but as you can see, there's no bids. So I keep going on down. Never heard of this. This is what I like about this too. It's like I've never heard of Schoolcraft County, Michigan. Um, Auction is coming up on August 18th. Have 30 parcels at 546,000. That's pretty decent. It's like, maybe, right? I would put that on the list, and I would put this in a folder and then go back and look into Schoolcraft County. Okay. But this is not one that I would target. So I'm like, maybe, I put this on the maybe list. So I'm just going to keep scrolling down here and trying to find something that I feel is like worth me doing some research on. So I'm keep going down. Okay. So this one is 168 parcels over 1.5 million. This may not, but it may be a decent one because one, they have like a lot of parcels, and two, it has a high range. Now I'm thinking about Michigan. I'm like, I don't know, because last time I checked, Michigan was still kind of cheap, but I don't know. I've never heard of this county, Oakland County. So if you stay on this video, I'm going to kind of walk you through the process, because I'm going to show you how I would dig into this county, because not only does it have 168 parcels, but the minimum bid is a total of like 1.5, which means that there may be some good ones. It may be hit or miss, but it's something to look into, right? So I'm going to put that one in a file, or create a file in my Google Drive, and I'm just going to kind of go see what else is out here. As you guys can see, look at all these Texas. Let's see, anything else worth looking at? See, as you guys can see, like this one might be, I was going to say this one has 4 parcels at 81,000. This one may be a decent one. Dang, these properties must be super cheap. Almost 500 parcels for 348,000 are the minimum bid. Interesting. This is how I'll be finding out about these counties, y'all. Pennsylvania, Wayne County. I have no clue. I've never worked Pennsylvania, y'all. So I have no clue how that one will work. There's a lot of Texas. Texas is really good for tax deed auctions, so you guys, because they happen every first Tuesday of each month. I'm just going to keep going and see if there's anything else. Ooh, okay. Ohio, these people crazy, y'all. I've got so many. I've tried to do Ohio, but Ohio, you do have to file a motion. This is a good one. 3.4. It's rough. That county is rough. People was cussing and hanging up on me and calling me all kind of names. Let's see. There's a lot of Georgia. Georgia has a lot of auctions coming up in August. I'm gonna have to check into this. Oh, and they're live. Ooh. I have to look into some of these counties. Let's see. But I wouldn't do overages in Georgia, only because a lot of them require an attorney and they're not third party friendly. So speaking of that, so I don't keep this video super long, is I'm gonna go back to where was that? Oakland County. I was like, see, they got a county and from an area that I am in California, Oakland, California. But there's actually an Oakland County. Where is it? In Michigan. Did I pass it up? Oh, there it is. So I'm going to use this as an example, you guys, of like how I uncover like new counties and kind of walk you through this process. So I do this all too, you guys, so that I can locate new counties. If I hadn't said that, I'm going to keep reiterating that. But like I said, I am working on a software so that you guys don't have to figure all this out. It'll just be laid out for you. Anyhow, this is Oakland County, Michigan. It has 1.5, 168 parcels. So this is something I would want to definitely look into. So I did a Google search. I looked into Oakland County and voila, I have found property tax foreclosed surplus claims. And as you guys can see, I read through this and it kind of tells you who can claim it and all that good stuff. It just basically tells you the process, and see, it shows you all the stuff that must be received by Oakland County Treasurer Office. So it tells you like when the property foreclosed, when can you go and do the notarized form, blah, blah, blah. So I come here to look and see, okay, what type of county this is, number one. Number two, what is the redemption? Like, how long does it take for me to file the claim? Like you guys see, it's kind of like giving me a timeline of like when I can, get a notarized form and all that stuff. So this kind of like tells you what you need. But if you guys see right here, it says, following receipt of the Oakland County Treasurer's notification, a claimant must file a motion with the Sixth Circuit Court in Oakland County for a hearing to determine a claim. You guys see that? I was like, okay, no. Sixth Circuit Court for a hearing to determine the claim payment. Now, I'm not going to knock anybody's hustle. By all means, if you want to go through the court process and file a motion for the claimant, by all means do that. But for me and Mika's business, I wouldn't want to mess with the courts, because now you have to somewhat involve the claimant, especially when you're filing a motion with the courts. I know I was doing one county, and what ends up happening oftentimes is if you're having to file motions with the court, you have to be an attorney. So what does that mean for a person like me or a person like you? Is that if you do not work with attorney and you just are independent like myself, this would not be an ideal county. So where it says missing these deadlines will result in the forfeiture of your right to claim the surplus. So as you guys can see, it says must be received by July 1st. and you have to have by May 15th for a hearing to determine claim payment. Now, see, these are a lot of obstacles. Now, some people, this may not be, but what I don't like is that you have to file a motion. So anytime you're going through the court system, there is going to be a judicial process. And so for me, in Mika's life, I don't want to have to be going through judicial process and putting things on my calendar and try to find court dates and, schedule for court dates, especially for out of the state. So for me, this would not be an ideal state for an individual like myself collecting for claimants as a third party, because it clearly says that the claimant must file a motion and then be go in for a hearing to determine even a claim payment. So although this did look pretty interesting, I wouldn't do this. Now, I would create a file so that I would never waste my time again in this county, and I would just put, this is not a third party friendly county. But let's just go see, because there's tons of them. I'm going to go to like the third, and let's just see if there are any others. So you guys can see Florida. This one, what's this one? Oh, Dallas County. Oh, Dallas got a lot. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm so irritated with Dallas, Texas, because you guys see it's like 26. By the time the auction come, there may be 6 auctions, and that could be very frustrating as you're investing, because you do all that time doing your research, and then they redeem them before the auction. This one might be a good one, Marion County. I haven't done Marion County in a while, but once again, 52 parcels at 408. It's kind of like you divide those numbers up. Maybe there might be some good overages in this one, so I might look into that one. I think I've done Marion County before. Let me see if there's any other decent ones. Just gonna go down, see if I see any that I'm not familiar with. Let's see, let me go to the next one. This one says 892, but I can't see it. Let's see if I could make this smaller. Let's see. 892 Broward County. Okay, everybody and their grandpa be in Broward County, so I wouldn't touch them. But you could try it. And this one's interesting. Never heard of it. I'm about to look in Pennsylvania. 3 million. What is going on in Pennsylvania? Oh, Philadelphia City County. Oh, that explains it. And their auction starts today, actually. So there will be a nice little overage list. But alert, it is a redeemable deed state, so you kind of have to wait until the redemption period is over before you could collect on overages. So this one might be an ideal one. This is like 3.7. Like I said, I have not done Pennsylvania, so I have no clue what would take place for that county. But let's just see. Let's just do a Google search on Philadelphia. Oops, sorry. Philadelphia City. Did it say city, county? I think it did. I'm going to say excess proceeds. So this is what I do. I'll go to this list and I find it, and then I'll look and see. So look, oh my gosh, look at this, you guys. They had a class action lawsuit. Philadelphia excess foreclosure sale fund, $950,000 settlement to resolve claims it's failed to provide homeowners. Oh, so they be trying to keep the money. Okay. Interesting. Well, see, they received, I guess, what's up with it? Nobody wants to buy an unclaimed property fund, $6 million. Jesus. So, as you guys see that I'm looking through this Google, there looks like there's a lot of proceeds in the litigation. That was 2010. Let's go. Let's see what's relevant. Oh, that's a class action lawsuit, but I don't know when that was. Let's See, I don't like sheriff and lien sales. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's see. Asset recovery team. Let's see. So I'll just go through these websites and I'll try to find as much information as I can. This is not what I need. But basically, I will scroll through a county. I would call someone if I can't find it on Google. I would just go to the county and contact someone and ask for the information. And so that's how I literally start my process when I'm looking for new counties or new places to uncover. However, if you don't have the time and energy to do all of this, I would suggest a mastermind, because that's what I do in my mastermind. I pretty much lay everything out. You don't have to research the county. You don't have to locate the information. I'm going to work a county that I know claims have not been recovered yet. So pretty much I do all the legwork. Hence is why I do this. It's like I do the legwork for myself. So I also do it for my masterminds. The reason why I started masterminds is because I can't work all the leads. And so anyway, I hope this video helps. And I hope you guys got something from this video. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. Happy investing, you guys.